I know that when people start competing, they adjust different aspects of their life to be more beneficial for their jiu-jitsu training, whether it's their nutrition or their strength and conditioning. Was this something that you did when you were competing?
Oh, absolutely. Like when I started to compete first, say the first Irish Open that I did, I remember coming off the mat and like all my arms were completely seized up. I don't think my mouth was completely dried up, and it was like a shock to the system. I was totally unprepared for doing that, and in some ways there's no way around it. You just have to get in there and do that, and then you find kind of the equilibrium of it in time. So I competed for a good few times, a long time before I found that. And so first of all, I realized that physically when I came into the sport, I wasn't strong at all, or wasn't prepared body-wise. The body wasn't ready for it. So I had to go and address that. So I think there wasn't like it's amazing how far things have come in fitness in general and gyms and things like that around the country. Because in Sligo at that time, I think there was only one gym, or and nobody really went there unless you were kind of a bodybuilder or something. So there wasn't much. There was some kind of hotel gyms, like the ones that have ripped seats and the equipment didn't really work, and there'd be some of that, and maybe there'd be a swimming pool. So there wasn't much gyms in 2004, 2005. It wasn't really till the economic crash when gyms became much bigger, because people kind of went away from the certain lifestyle habits, like pub kind of started to die off then as well. And it's getting more and more every year. There's less pubs, and there seems to be a bit more push towards physical activity. But so there was no personal trainers. Now you could throw a stone out the window and you'd hit two personal trainers. They're everywhere. And I'm a qualified personal trainer as well myself, because I done the qualification at college when I was there. But now there's any amount of information. There's great people to train people, but there was nothing like that at the time. So to figure out a lot of stuff ourselves. And then there was nothing on nutrition. Because even if you think about those times, I think YouTube only came out in 2006, and still the internet wasn't that great that you could watch a video on it anyway. And it's only in the last maybe 10 years that it became a fairly good resource. So we had to find out about nutrition and getting books on it and reading up on all that kind of stuff. So I had to completely overhaul my whole life, actually, my lifestyle, everything, just because I wanted to compete. Because I hadn't had any understanding of that. I didn't even know what a weight class was or anything like that. I didn't know that I was the lowest end of the weight classes, what that meant in the gym training with every guy. So then I focused a lot on the strength and conditioning, the nutrition, and then as I was going to competing, it was more then the psychology of it, that I was getting nervous and I wasn't able to perform on the day in the competition like I did in training, and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. So I had to try and figure that out as well. And with all that, it was, most people wouldn't do it, and I put a lot of work into it myself. It completely changed my life in order to be able to train jiu-jitsu and be able to compete as well, and it was a great motivation for me.